I said it, you like.
Oh, here, you're gonna be right in the video, let me tell you, because I usually am, and I usually am mortified. Hi, Leo. How are you? Yeah.
Just a reminder to the public to please hold your questions for your public comment after all three presentations are finished.
Good evening. I'm Amy Gallagher, the Business Administrator. We are here to give part 2 of our strategic plan update. In December, we gave an update on some of our district goals for the year, and we are going to be continuing that this evening by going over the ones that we did not cover. So to start off, we have community and public relations. That was an area of our strategic plan where we put in goals for this year to accomplish things that was per our strategic plan that we would like to move forward with this year. So one of the big areas that we've been working on is our district website and our app redesign. We have done community surveys, and we have done a lot of work on the website and our app to give it a new look. I don't know how many of you have gone on to the district website to look, but it has a whole new feel to it, a whole new flow. There's a lot of content on there. We did have a lot of content before, but we've even expanded upon that. As Mrs. Pegas is showing some of the drop downs and features of the new website, so we find that it's easy to navigate and has a lot of good information on there. So if you haven't checked it out, please check it out. If you have checked it out, thank you, and we are proud to unveil that for this year along with our app.
And I know another goal is to increase our social media. So if you look at the left-hand side there, our social media is always stagnant on that side. So you have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, which we're increasing our presence as a district on those social media platforms.
Hashtag MTPS Brian.
Good plug. And I know Mr. Austin is also working with each school. Our main priority was to get the district site up, and now Mr. Austin is working with each school to convert the old layout into the new layout. So, eventually we'll have a seamless web page from the district to Thompson to Leonardo to whatever school will all be similar with the same layout.
Yep.
I know that you, those of you who have come to board meetings have heard about our Future Ready Schools certification program that we have done a lot of work on over the last few years. I guess Mrs. Pekas is going to show you that on our website as well. We have achieved certifications under that program. I believe we are at Dr. George.
Silver.
Silver certification.
Highest certification.
Gold.
We are the gold
We
certification.
are working towards gold.
Working
We
toward
have
gold
achieved
certification.
silver certification.
So this
We're in
year
the
we're
process
working
of
on gold.
working towards gold right now.
We're the largest district. We're the largest district with 17 schools to have obtained the silver certificate.
17 of only 34 schools in the entire state of New Jersey.
So our participation in that program is in line with our community and public relations goal, and the revamping of our website and all of our social media platforms is also a component of getting those advanced certifications. So that was something we wanted to make everybody aware of if you weren't already. We also have other new and expanded partnerships under the area of community and public relations. We have, I'm not going to read the slide verbatim, but we have partnered with various organizations, the YMCA, CPC counseling has been expanded to additional to middle school, and increased our partnership with Community in School. We have a partnership with the Mental Health Association of Monmouth County. We have continued partnerships with other organizations, Monmouth Medical Crisis, Riverview, Hospital Crisis Screening. So this is just to give you an example of the community outreach that we have either started new or expanded upon in recent months. The next goals that we are going to talk about is the goals under long-range planning. And there was an objective in long-range planning to analyze student population needs in order to ensure that our existing facilities are equipped to accommodate current and future enrollments. So in interest of doing that, we are continuing to monitor our school enrollment. So what we're presenting for you here, and this will be up on the website so you don't have to write down numbers or take notes, but we have updated our enrollments from June 2018 to January this month, 2019, in each school. So you can see we have 6 of our elementary schools here, and the next 6 on this page. Total at the elementary level, our enrollment at the end of June 2018 was 4,306 students. We are now at 4,247. So we've had a decrease in enrollment since last June at the elementary level of 59 students spread out amongst the 12 elementary schools that we have. With the capacity that we've been using, and those of you who have seen our previous presentations, the capacity numbers that we have are from our previous long-range facilities plan and how they were calculated under district practice at that time, which would be primarily class sizes and how many students can be housed in buildings based upon district practice of class size. That number is 4584. So at this point, we are under capacity across the 12 elementary schools using those numbers at 337 students. At the secondary level, you can see we have totals for the middle schools. We have gone from 2441 to 2309, so we've lost 132 students at the middle school level. And that results in being actually under capacity by 47 students. So if any of you remember previous presentations that we've done on this have shown that we were over capacity at the middle school level. Well, that is now being pushed through the grades, and a lot of those students have moved up to the high school level. So at this point, the middle school level is back within the capacity that we have been using. And at the high school level, you can see, skipping down to the bottom of this slide, we actually are under capacity by 1 using the numbers that we have from our previous long-range facilities plan. So a lot of those students have trickled up to the high school. High School North has gained 42 students, but High School South has gained 110 students since last June. So we've seen an increase there at the high school level. So at this point, the high schools overall are under capacity by 1 student, but South is really over capacity by 193, and North is 194 under capacity. So a few notes we want to make. The district total, we've gone from 9603 to 9564, so that's a decrease of enrollment of 39 students overall, which is not significant based upon the fact that we have 9,500 students, but it's not an increase. It is a slight decrease. We did put a few notes on here just so that you know the parameters from which these are being presented. The schools that had asterisks next to them are schools that host special education, self-contained programs, and preschool classes. So the reason why we say that is because some of those schools, if they didn't have those classes there, their enrollments would be lower, obviously, and those classes don't necessarily have to be housed at those schools, but we don't offer every program in every school. So it's just something to keep in mind as we're looking at the numbers across the board. Student counts include half-day preschool students and shared time students. So we have students who are in the buildings that are included in the enrollments that may not be there all day. We also have approximately 40 students that were relocated from Navesink to River Plaza and Leonardo last year when we got rid of the modular. So if you were taking a look, we kind of flipped through that slide quickly, but you could see that Navesink's number of students had gone down quite a bit, and River Plaza and Leonardo had gone up, and it was not because of any real change in population, but it was because we moved students based upon the elimination of the modular. Capacity numbers are based on district practice. At the time that the district did their last exhaustive classroom inventory and capacity numbers. Now, we did vet those capacity numbers when as we've been doing this planning, but even since we have been discussing the capacities and the enrollments, we have made changes in our practice for class sizes, which would impact these numbers if we were rolling them out for the different schools. So for example, we have class sizes that are a little higher in the elementary school and some of the upper grades, and we've increased class sizes at the middle and high school level in some of those classes. So that would actually make the capacity numbers bigger in each building, which would make the numbers of students under capacity larger, because we would actually have more room in the buildings based upon the fact that we're using larger class sizes. So under facilities and finance, another objective that we have was to enhance and prioritize security improvements. So I'm going to let Mr. Brunella expand upon that.
So Mr. McGuire, our district's supervisor of security, and myself, over the summer and throughout this school year, have attended a lot of different professional development opportunities. They're listed up here, a lot of public agencies, the state police, the local Middletown Township Police Department, Office of Emergency Management, the Middletown Police Department, the EMS. And really what we're doing when we go out and we meet with these agencies is we're presenting our plans, our emergency plans to them, and they're reviewing and we're collaborating with them to make sure that our emergency plans are in line with their expectations, and also that we have the best practices in place. Another thing that we're doing, Mr. McGuire and myself, at our one meeting with the state police, they provided us with, they have a checklist when they go out and do building security audits. They provided that to us. So we turned that into a Google Doc, and we're in the process of visiting all the facilities and using the same checklist that the state police use, just to make sure that we're in line and looking for places that we can improve. And once we have visited all the different facilities, we're going to share that information with the local agencies as well, so we can collaborate and make sure that we're all on the same page. And one other piece that's we're in the process of implementing is the Middletown Police Department is working with the districts, and we're actually starting to have geolocations. So all of our schools are online with the police department, and what they actually do is they take Google images, Google Map images, and they overlay it on our floor plans of our buildings. So if there's ever an emergency or a crisis, everybody's looking at the same thing, and they put it on grids, on a grid. So everybody, if you say A1, everyone needs to report to A1. No matter what language is common in your agency, A1 is going to be the same for everyone. So we're in the process of implementing that. And hopefully, I don't know exactly when we'll have all the buildings online, but they are in the process of doing that right now. And then some of the trainings that we've implemented throughout the district, again, is continue to review the current best practices. Mr. McGuire does a lot of research every time that there's an unfortunate incident that takes place. He spends a lot of time reviewing that. He gets a lot of reports from state and national agencies who use them. Again, goes back and looks at our plans, make sure that we're in line with what's happening and what the expectations are. We also conduct monthly substitute teacher trainings, because through one of the reports that you read, a lot of substitutes feel as though if there's a lockdown or a shelter in place, they don't know how to handle the situation. So we've implemented, this is our second year now of doing it. Last year we started halfway through the year. This is our first full year, but every substitute that's in our district has to go through our training before they go into the building, before they're activated in the police. So before they can accept a job, they've gone through the security training with Mr. McGuire and myself. And the last one there is just conduct biannual review of the security procedures. And again, I had already mentioned that he reviews all incidents and has regular meetings with the security staff to make sure that his expectations are being met with the security staff.
The last area we'll update you on is our objective to continue to look for additional revenue sources. And there's two areas that we were focusing on as part of the plan. We were going to be looking at before and after care, that program, to see if there's a way that the district could realize revenue from that, and also the area of grants. So in the area of the before and after care program, we've been considering the possibilities of either running our own program or partnering with a vendor but creating a revenue stream for the district. Right now, we do not receive any revenue from the program that's run in the district. So we will be looking, our contract with our current provider is expiring at the end of this year. We are going to be doing requests for proposals and to get from vendors proposals that would provide the district with an income stream, as well as provide quality services for the students of the district. So we will be going through that process over the next few months. As far as grants, we always do pursue grants. We've received many grants in the district. We were looking at the possibility of contracting with a grant writer to further expand our reach for grants. We have talked to some grant writers to see what the financial viability of that would be. And unfortunately, for the amount of money that we would have to pay to an outside grant writer, and then for the grants that are available for schools in general, and the fact that we don't qualify for a lot of things that are out there because they are skewed toward districts with more economically challenged populations than ours, we've not been able to identify a situation where retaining a grant writer and paying the money for that service would be beneficial to us, considering the amount of grants that we would be able to get from that source. So we do continue to pursue grants on our own. Our entire staff is always looking for opportunities. We have a lot of individual teachers as well as administrators and district-wide initiatives to get grants. So we will continue to do that. We find that that's probably the best way to go. We've talked to other districts and they have found the same thing. We did also talk to the township, who uses a grant writer, and we were trying to partner with them, but the municipalities have a lot of opportunities available to them that we don't have, and it pays more for them to have a grant writer to get those opportunities. There's a lot of those grants that are not available to school districts, and it just wouldn't pan out the same way it does on the municipal level. So we are continuing to pursue grants on our own. We continue to have success, and there may not be large grants, but they do add up, $2,000 here, $10,000 there. It does, help fund our initiatives here in the district, whether it be smaller, more medium-sized projects. We are looking at the possibility of contacting some foundations to see whether we could get some specific projects funded through there. We know some districts have had luck doing that, so that is something that we're looking at, and we'll keep everybody up to date on our progress there. But actually paying a grant writer a consultative fee to do that, it just doesn't seem to be something that would benefit us economically. So that's our update. We promised to be succinct, so we hopefully achieve that goal, and we look forward to our last year of our strategic plan and forming the new one, and we will continue to give you updates on all of that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
One question about the before and after care. I guess affordability is still I think right now we're using the YMCA, right?
Correct.
So affordability, I think, is one of the, I don't know if a lot of people are going to argue this. Why is definitely the greatest, but I think it's probably the most affordable. So that's something we need to think about. Like, we anticipate costs.
Yes, certainly as we develop the rubric for the proposals, the cost to the parents would be a factor, yes.
And I have a question.
Yes.
On the elementary schools, when you were looking at the capacity, when you looked at Navesink, because we took the trailers away, does that capacity number change?
We did reduce the
Okay.
capacity number on this chart based on our estimate of what those classrooms would have represented. So that was another note that I made on there. I might not have verbalized that, but yeah, we cut
No,
that
thank
down.
you, because that's 4 classrooms.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay,